In his day, Sokolov was Dunwall's genius. He transformed our city with his inventions. Electricity for the factories and carriages racing along above the streets. As I grew up, his buzzing and glowing devices kept me safe. His stories always made me giggle, and his outrageous conversations shocked aristocrats and overseers alike. Now, all these years later, Kiran Jindosh is Karnaka's genius. A mad inventor who has given the Duke sinister machines that move like people but aren't. Clockwork soldiers that fight and kill. I've got to find out where Sokolov's being held and bring the old man back alive. Rescue one genius and cage the other before he creates an army of clockwork soldiers.
Malcontents are saying that our bridges are crumbling. We're leaving our cities.
Maybe I ought to
But as I look out from the windows of the Grand Palace, I know these are
pricey.
A merchant does
Sokonis is a land of riches. Yes, some people are poor because they're lazy.
A body? Here?
Capital city, there are abandoned buildings full of blood clots. There have always been blood clots.
Think something new.
Always will be. It's the way of the world. Things rot. They fall apart. You squeeze out every drop of wine you can, then you pass into nothing. Put that on my tombstone.
Huh? Huh? Hello?
Welcome. I don't know you.
I'm new to Karnaka. I need a tool that can rewire a wall of light, the kind the Grand Guard uses, and I'd prefer not to explain myself.
I can help you out, but not right now. Don't even linger here. I'm supposed to get a visit from Paolo, someone you don't want to meet. Come back later.
Understood.
You should go. We can do business another time. Like I said, Paolo is coming by.
Who do we have here? I wonder why your face is covered, lady.
That's my business. Who are you supposed to be?
I'm Paolo. In this part of town, everything's my business. And slumming rich kids should remember all that etiquette they learned. Maybe you need another lesson. Is that what you came down here for?
You little shit!
What's going on here?
Know you're here somewhere.
I can't believe you're alive after crossing Paolo.
I trained with better. Much better.
Come in. I might have what you've been asking for. Keep to the shadows. That's my advice.
see Jindosh's mansion from here. The gate's down. I'll need the code.
Think you're being quiet? Hello? Aha! This head of yours would...
Best thing at a Rhapsody. Give me a handful of the clockworks and I'll clean up the dust district. I don't know. Maybe the tall boys were better from the time of the rat plague.
Can't get comfortable. Power seems to have gone out.
The mansion has a strange beauty to it. Maybe I'll find a way to end this without killing Kieran Jindosh.
Welcome to my home, stranger. The door is always open to those with the will to pass the threshold. If you're here by appointment, then proceed and bide your time. Otherwise, I'd be remiss if I didn't inform you about the defensive mechanisms employed here, which are...
Who would build something like this? And why?
Someone's activated one of the mechanisms in my house.
Jindosh.
My home is always open. It's one of my greatest curiosities. How a common mind navigates these shifting rooms. I'm Kieran Jindosh, but you must know that. I invite you to continue, stranger. Just come up the stairs. Most unexpected and truly impressive. Not many people would still be standing after that. I expected the courtesy of seeing you by this point. Now that I see you, I've worked out who you are. Not a hired cutthroat. Your clothes are too fine. An aristocratic thrill seeker? That's closer. You've trained with weapons formally, but you're not a salon fencer. There's a bit of back alley in your movements. All that, and you have your father's eyes, your imperial majesty. Welcome, Lady Emily Caldwin.
Impressive, Jindosh. Then you must also know why I'm here.
I'd assume my involvement with the Duke brought you to my door. Or maybe you're after washed-up Anton Sokolov, comfortably residing in the assessment chamber. Either way, come find me and take whatever it is you seek. But if you fall, I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection and study. Until either comes to pass, your secret is safe with me.
I'll see you soon, Jindosh.
Until then. Clockwork soldiers, there's an interloper in my home.
I'm going to ask for a transfer to the Grand Palace. Why shouldn't I? Figure be...
When I think about it, your presence implies a great deal. It's very impressive that you survived Delilah and made it down here to Karnaca, all without the aid of your infamous father.
Anyone here? Ooh.
End of sleep phase.
All right, Chopper. Come back here.
Switching to alternative tactical mode.
It's a long way down.
Breathtaking. According to the scales beneath the floor and my acoustic sensors, you move quite quickly. You're quite close now. I can't remember any other visitor getting so far. Do you feel pride?
So, face to face.
She's the Crown Killer!
Playback indicates
Goodbye, Grand Inventor.
triggering electrostatic discharge. Stand clear. The machine has entered combat.
This must be Jindosh's lab.
Switching to alternative tactical mode. The machine has lost its quarry.
So let's...
Assessment chamber reconfiguring. Standing by. Configuration speed. Adapting to layout. Entering overheating. Stop all action.
Sokolov.
Emily Caldwin? If you're here, things have gone further than I thought. But Kieran Jindosh?
Not a threat anymore.
You were an interesting little girl. You've become a fascinating woman.
Someone there? going on here?
Flies need some fresh meat, and they're going to get it.
No way! We'll both die, but you're going first! I won't let her escape. I'll paint my nails red with your blood. Let's come back here.
You did it. How is he?
He's frail and wounded, but he'll recover.
I didn't think it was possible. You must have a story to tell. I'll hear it back at the ship.
Let's go then. The void, but somehow different this time.
Surprised I can pull you into this place? The outsider marked me long ago. I made you flee your precious tower and turned your father into cold stone. How difficult for you. But when I was young, sweet Jessamine and I were closest sisters, sharing a secret. Emperor Kaldwin had another daughter, born in shame to a kitchen maid.
Am I dreaming? If not, how is Delilah doing this?
I told you when you're older. Perhaps next year.
You said that last year. Jessamine is younger than me, and she's a court every day.
Jessamine is, well, it's complicated. You'll understand someday.
What did I do? I'll be good. I swear.
Next year, I promise.
day, Jessamine and I played games in the tower, but at night I'd go back to the servants' quarters to cockroaches and thin gruel. Emperor Daddy would visit and tell me if I was good. Next year, I'd be old enough to come to court to be a princess. Then one day, pretty Jessamine broke something worth a fortune, and the spy master caught us. She claimed I did it, and he whipped me in the garden house until I bled. My mother lost her kitchen job, and that night we were out on the streets with no place to sleep.
I didn't break it.
Would you like to tell me who did?
We were just playing.
Young lady Jessie, what is your account?
It was her. Delilah's light. She broke it.
Mother and I saw the nastiest parts of Dunwall, ending up in debtor's prison. Jessamine died quick on an assassin's blade, but my mother lingered for weeks after a fat guard broke her jaw. They threw me out when she died. I looked up at the lights of Dunwall Tower and swore revenge. Washing bedsheets in a brothel, I painted on the side, until Anton Sokolov took me as a student. That's the polite word for it. I was crafty even before the outsider marked me, and survived the worst the Empire could offer. Now it's your turn.
My mother's sick. She needs help.
Your mother kicked off while you were out begging. She's another bag of bones now, girl.
What? No!
Her sentence is served and she'll be tossed out with the others. You can't stay here anymore.
It's hard to know whether my dear old aunt is telling the truth or not. When I was young, the Loyalist conspiracy that kidnapped me also took Anton Sokolov. They brought him to the pub where I was being held and locked him in a cage meant for dogs. And you know what? Sokolov laughed at them. He taught me lessons and told me funny stories. He seemed immortal. His mind shaped our age. That's changed. The old man I rescued doesn't talk much. He eats what we give him, groans in his sleep, coughs out blood. I thought he'd tell me the secret to defeating Delilah and saving the Empire. But I'm not even sure he knows where he is. Anton, when I brought you back, you could barely speak. But it's been 3 days.
They tortured him. His body is covered with bruises.
Delilah has the throne, and my father is missing. This is Anton Sokolov, the greatest mind in the Empire.
No, Emily. Megan is right. I can make electricity move from one side of the room to the other, but Delilah is beyond my understanding. When I came to Sokolov, I meant to leave everything behind. But when the assassination started, I couldn't ignore it. By the time Megan and I connected the murders to the Duke, it was too late. The Crown Killer came for me. It kept me alive from my knowledge that I saw things. Jindosh often had a visitor, Brianna Ashworth.
She's the curator of the Royal Conservatory.
Yes, Ashworth is dangerous, as obsessed with the occult as Delilah. Apparently, she's working on a device called the Oraculum.
There's more to her than either of you know.
If Ashworth is one of Delilah's lieutenants, I need to eliminate her. Who knows what this device is capable of, or what she's up to. I have trouble remembering my mother's face sometimes, but there might be some resemblance.
Painted from memory. While trying to learn more about what the Duke of Sokolov was up to, I began hearing a name I hadn't heard in almost 2 decades. Delilah Copperspoon. We painted together for a time, but her obsession with the occult and the Caldwin family took her out of my circles.
I saw some of her paintings. Beautiful, but somehow sinister.
You knew Delilah? All this time traveling with you and you never mentioned
My
that?
past is none of your business. You don't own everything, Empress.
Another life, another life. Megan came to Karnaca to reinvent herself. Maybe I did as well, but the Duke of Serkonos had other ideas.
There'll be a Grand Guard presence outside the Royal Conservatory. Inside, be prepared for anything. Ashworth runs with an eclectic crowd. They'll be the real danger.
Someday I'd like to know more about how you met Ashworth.
I know you would. Trust me. Ashworth is important to Delilah. Which brings up something else. You might be able to exploit the Abbey of the Everyman in removing Ashworth from play. Turns out the Vice Overseer in Karnaca has been watching Ashworth from a hidden outpost near the Royal Conservatory. Check it out first if you want more options. Remember, if she's still working with Delilah, Ashworth is a grave threat.
Thanks, Megan. See you soon.
This is where we should meet our contact. From the Sokolov Furniture Workshop.
How long do we have to wait?
As long as it takes. We'll be picking up balusters and spindles. Maybe some component inroads.
I thought the old beer down the sidewalk.
What?
Come back here!
This head of yours is worth its weight in silver!
No use running!
Why hit?
No!
All right!
Get away!
Wow.
What's going on here?
Saw something?
Greetings. I provide only the finest service with absolute discretion. Welcome to my shop. Say, an acquaintance of mine is supposed to be holed up in an office overlooking the Royal Conservatory. Check on them if you're headed that way. I'd check myself, but the streets are locked down. I'd make it worth your time.
I'll think about it.
See anything you like?
Show yourself and state your name.
I look forward to the day when I can reopen my gallery.
I saw you. Come on.
Anybody?
I won't hurt you.
Don't make me search
I'll
the whole
find you,
place.
you
I
know.
don't have time for that.
Take this.
Might be time to spring from
No. What the? I lost her. Hey, where do you think you're going? Where did she go?
I'll grind your I won't let you.
On the throne in Dunmore. Our rightful ruler, Delilah Caldwin.
The Royal Conservatory. What do those walls hide?
Question.
The conservatory. I wanted to visit this place with Wyman.
Cinda. She wanted to raise the blood briar, but cannot. After trying to make...
You don't stand a chance, eh?
Brianna, how did Jindosh die? No, my dear, it's a loss, but I doubt he had anything more to give us.
Sokolov was taken away as well.
Who would want that ancient fool? The oracular sisters.
My influence grows. Last night, I walked through a dream.
Ashworth is influencing the oracular order.
You mean like this tangle of skin and bones representing one of the Dunderheads from the oracular order?
Yes. I keep it in my chambers.
You have bizarre taste, my dear. I wouldn't want to see myself like that. I'd rather have my portrait painted by Delilah.
There's a quality to Brianna's style I prefer. Touched by something from deep down in the mud where there's no light. The endless womb and the cold, dead grave. Both the same.
But Brianna's
Air feels damp,
reach into the mud,
heavy.
into the
Probably
heart.
a storm coming in.
Wouldn't you be afraid she'd influence your dreams? Like she's going to do to the Sisters of the Abbey?
Jindosh was tiresome. How does this even work?
What will I do now? I'm ruined. That feeling. The things I could do. The touch of the void. Delilah. It was everything I had. As if you could ever hide your face from me, Emily. Little Black Sparrow, free from your cage at last.
It's done. Brianna Ashworth is no longer a witch.
You villain! You don't even know what you've done. A great bloom wilts and fades from the world.
Delilah, I will take apart everything you've built until I have what's mine.
Oh, Brianna. I don't believe we will speak again. The thought of seeing you reduced to such a pale, sad thing. It's too much to bear. I hate you for this, child.
I'm not only going to restore things to the way they were, I'm going to make them better. Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
After Delilah fell to the assassin Dowd, her magic was lost.
and the Coven scattered, I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order.
Worse than nothing.
People of Karnaca. This is the Duke. This is the Duke. Some of you question my stricter minds.
Hard times. Gotta be on the lookout.
Did you hear that? Guard. Let me answer all of this rabble-rousing at once. Disloyalty and sedition will not be tolerated. Look at Duncan Bale. Friend. He's a patron.
Somebody's down.
Karnaca needed miners and
One of us is down.
Please take a look around. We have the best wares for discerning guests such as yourself. Welcome back. I see you found the prototype.
Your acquaintance didn't make it.
It is a risky line of work, I'm afraid, but let's not dwell. I expect you'll be interested in payment. First your finder's fee, of course, and if you like, I can draw up some schematics based on the prototype, something you can use to modify your tools. And as a token of my appreciation, a discount at the shop.
A fair deal.
Please, visit again soon.
Come back here!
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Emily, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
Isn't that a requirement for citizenship?
What I've got to say is not a joke. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit. Which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now. But I felt like you should know. There are things I regret.
All right, Megan. Thank you for opening up. If only a little.
I'm starting to feel like you deserve it. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes. Let's go. Take me back to the Dreadful Whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos and Delilah.